All take our seats, please, so we can advance. Please be seated.
I told him we didn't have a helmet.
Good morning, everyone. I will call this Waupaca County Board of Supervisors organizational session to order on the second day, Wednesday, April 16th. Please press your roll call buttons. White buttons.
Roll call shows 27 members present.
This meeting and all other meetings are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and given to the press in accordance with the Wisconsin state statutes, so the citizenry may be aware, time, place, and the agenda of this meeting. Please join me for a moment of silent meditation and stand and then the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We need to approve the agenda as presented today. A motion by Supervisor Donley, a second by Supervisor Sorensen. Any questions or discussion on the agenda? Please vote.
Last chance to vote. Motion carries 27-0.
Likewise, the minutes. Minutes of the
There probably wasn't any from the last one because you approved them yesterday, so
we can dispense with that. Today, we'd like to introduce the department heads. This is a reorganizational meeting, and most of us know who they are, but some of you that are recently elected would like to meet our great group department heads. So how do you want to work that, Mary?
have them up here in front, and then we'll just have them just say their name and what department they're in.
Please come up front. Want to go to the podium? Could we get in line up by the microphone here so we could all hear?
Hey, now.
Well, as long as you come on from the line to introduce yourself. I'm Mary Roberts, County Clerk.
Wayne Knutson, Veteran Services.
Andrew Carlin, Emergency Management.
Ryan Brown, Planning and Zoning.
Brad Hardell, your sheriff.
Heidi Dombreski, Finance Director.
Morning, Mike Mazumke, Register of Deeds.
Mike Collis, UW Extension.
Chuck Price, Health and Human Services.
Mandy Welch, Human Resources.
Roger Holman, Solid Waste, Parks, Land and Water.
Terry Tews, Clerk of Courts.
Clyde Tillock, Treasurer.
Barry Tamaris, Coroner.
Bob Reith, Information Systems.
Leighton Trice, Maintenance.
Jeff Stewart, Court Counsel and Child Support.
And I know Dean Steingraber isn't here today. He had another meeting from our Highway Commissioner.
And before we leave today, you will be tested on who they are and what departments. Next item, the report number 1 is committee and committees. Yesterday, the committee and committees met downstairs for an hour, went over the committees, and they approve the committees that are on your desk. I will ask Administrator Coordinator Mary Robbins I'm going to ask you, would you like her to read every committee and names, or you have it in front of you and take a couple minutes? I'm sure a lot of you have looked at them already. So last year, 2 years ago, we dispensed of the reading of all the names. It's up to you. What would you like? Mr. Fedorowicz?
I would suggest we dispense of the reading, since probably we all did read them already.
Okay.
That's a question.
Supervisor Kussman.
I noticed on lake districts, I don't see Iola or Pigeon Lake District.
They're probably just not listed here. I know that those are appointed by the board throughout the year, and it's still Terry Murphy on the Iola and Dennis Kussman on Pigeon. So I'll add that.
Thank you.
As you will hear from me every 2 years, or have in the last number of years, that this is a very difficult task to do, because you're all very talented, all very special people in your own way. And I know some of you desire certain committees, some department heads desire certain people on their committees, some committee chairmen want certain people on their committees, and all three groups have come to me at various times and talked to me for suggestions of who they want, that type of thing, and who the individual person, what committees they want. And it gets to be quite the puzzle to put together, because of the extreme talent that we all present here. In generalities, for instance, I'll just take finance. We try to have every county, every area of the county and the bigger cities represented on the finance. We try to take into consideration experience in finance, where they involved in finance in municipalities, townships, or they have a business, those types of things. We also take into consideration, are they representing one of the large departments? They maybe should be on finance. So there's a lot of things that are taken in consideration. Because you're not on a committee that you really, really wanted, that's got nothing personal at all. I remember that the first year I was on a committee I really didn't like, and the second term I got off of that committee, and hooray, I got on a different committee. Darned if the third year I didn't appear back in that committee again. But you know what? It was a great education, and I really did learn a lot more because my mind was open about that committee. So seniority has something to do with it. A lot of things have a lot to do with it, and Administrator Coordinator Clerk Robbins does a lot of advising and helping and that type of thing. And then the committees go through this yesterday, line by line, and we discuss it. So they did unanimously approve this, sending it on to our board. So that's kind of how it goes. It's not a real fun deal, and it's not a popularity contest for me, for sure. So I'll entertain a motion to approve there's a motion, Supervisor Craig makes a motion to approve the committees, and a second by Supervisor Johnson. Questions and discussion? Yes, Supervisor Blaine.
When will we find out when these different committees meet?
Agendas are sent out. Well, right now when we adjourn, you're going to be selecting your chairman, your vice chair, and your secretary, and that committee will send the agenda to the rest of the members. So that's how you'll get to know. And it will start effective as of today. After this is approved, you'll be on those committees.
There is a motion and a second. Please vote.
Last chance to vote. Motion carries 26-1.
And now we can recess, I believe, Mary, and we'll go in our individual committee groups and select your chair and really report back to Mary, so she needs to know that. I'll have finance and personnel up in this area right here and the rest of you committees find a place to meet together. Okay?
Solid Waste Board will meet at their next meeting, and same with Health and Human Services. They'll meet at their next meeting. They always meet the first Wednesday of the month, I believe. So they'll select their people on that day. But every other committee, if you can, get together.
Okay, we'll just take a break here and start selecting your chairman of your committees.
He'll be back. I'll have money
Gary, did you guys meet? Did you? It's you and I know Jean. That one we'll have to look at later because we're going to look at the deck.
Yeah. I hope so. You were voted?
Jackie just got to be a better voice.
If we could please take our seats and we can commence the meeting once again. Let's please take our seats. Okay, we'll continue this meeting. I don't have a chair report to give you myself, and then I see a lot of people say, whew, but I do want to thank you all again for understanding on the committee assignments. It's a good experience no matter what it is, what committee, for all of us. And sometimes we just have to do a few changes and get further educated in other committees. With that being said, I'm going to call UW Extension Penny Tank, 4-H Program Advisor, up.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on the agenda. There's a couple different things that I'm doing on the agenda today, and so first I did want to just highlight, and I should introduce myself, as Chair Keppen said, I am Penny Tank. I am the 4-H Program Advisor with the UW Extension Office. I have been in this role for just about 17 years. And so we appreciate your support of our office and of our 4-H program. And the first thing I would like to do this morning, our office, 3 times a year, we do an extension impact report that's was put on your desk this morning. And we just like to take just a few minutes to highlight each of us shares something from our work over the last couple months to highlight. And so we take turns presenting this at a meeting. And like I said, it's usually 3 times a year. And so the front of our report this time does recognize our Wisconsin 4-H Centennial, which we will be talking.
Penny,
Yes.
we didn't, up here we didn't get that report.
We always get forgot. It's okay.
It's all right.
Kind of bad.
No, I don't want to take your copy, though. I can go without the meeting. You want yours, right? Huh? You know it all. All right.
Okay, sorry about that. So, yes, the front page of our report this month does talk about our Wisconsin 4-H Centennial, which we will be covering a little bit more next with a resolution that will be brought before the board. But this year is 100 years of 4-H in the state of Wisconsin. And so there's events statewide as well as locally that we are highlighting. And if we go to the inside of our report, Mike Colas, who introduced himself this morning as our county department head, is our economic development educator. And he has in here an article about a promotion to professor rank and also a certification that he completed as a Myers-Briggs type indicator instructor. And so some highlights for him this last couple months. Connie Abert and Sandy in our office are working with there's a committee in Waupaca County, a suicide prevention committee, and so this article highlights a speaker that they are having come in, And then the page 3 highlights the nutrition lessons from Christy Bielfuss, our new nutrition educator. She started last fall. And also Sandy Lang is doing some family living programs. This past week, for example, was Money Smart Week. You may have heard different things in the communities. And Sandy started with us in November. So we have both Christy and Sandy were new in the last 6 months and doing some great work and outreach for our office and for the county. And on the back page, Greg Blondie, our agriculture agent, highlights a seminar that he did with some state specialists that came up to Marion on a very, very cold winter day, which we had quite a few of those this year. But highlighting some of the research that he's involved in and the workshops that he does with our agriculture community. And so if anybody ever has any questions or would like more information on anything, please feel free to stop by our office. We'd be happy to visit with you and share more information or answer any of those questions. Does anybody have any questions this morning for me?
Questions for Penny. Penny, how long have you been with us now?
17 years next month.
And you started when you were 6.
I did. I did.
Well, we want to thank you for the great job you do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Penny. Okay. Resolution 10A, 14-15, commemorating the 100th anniversary of Wisconsin 4-H Youth Development. Yes, Resolution 1.
I'll read the be it for resolved and then you can.
Okay.
Now therefore be it resolved that Waupaca County Board of Supervisors hereby commends Wisconsin 4-H Youth Development and the Waupaca County 4-H Youth Development Extension educators for their leadership, cooperation, and support, which allows the youth and families of Waupaca County and all of Wisconsin to apply the research and knowledge of the University of Wisconsin to their lives, homes, and communities, and help build strong leaders for tomorrow. Be it further resolved that Waupaca County Board of Supervisors encourages its members to work collaboratively with their local 4-H Youth Development educators and University of Wisconsin Extension teams to commemorate and celebrate the 100-year anniversary of Wisconsin 4-H Youth Development.
Before we take a motion, Penny, could we have our guests introduce themselves and tell them where they're from?
They can, and we're just going to share a few words about their 4-H involvement, so we will do that. I will let them introduce themselves. I just wanted to real quick highlight with our 4-H program, just so you are aware of the size and scope of our program. The 4-H Community Club program, we currently have 18 4-H clubs around the county, and we have 472 youth members, and that is kindergarten through high school, can be a part of 4-H, and we have 233 adult volunteers that have been trained to support and work with our youth program. And then in addition to that, there's a wide variety of community youth development, which Connie Abert works with, and we'll be talking about at another time. We are focusing on our 4-H Community Club program, and so I would like to turn it over first to Alicia.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alicia. I am currently a 9th grader at Waupaca High School. I've been in 4-H for 10 years, and 4-H has been in 4 generations of my family. My great-grandma, Jeraine Eisentrout, she actually started the club that I'm from, which is Casey Lake 4-H. And then her son, Larry, and Artis Eisentrout, which are my grandparents, they were also in it, which got my parents into it, and now me. So 4-H has been a part of my life for a long time. I'm currently a 4-H ambassador, so I help all the youth with the different camps and activities that we do. So 4-H has done a lot for me and my family. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chloe Ham, and I am in 8th grade. I've been in 4-H for 9 years, and both my parents were in 4-H, and I've been in it since I was 5. I'm from Casey Lake 4-H, and I am currently the president of the 4-H club, and
Hi, I'm Danny Arnold, and I'm in 9th grade, and I've been in 4-H for 10 years, I think. And I...
What's a project you like to do?
I'm mainly in horse project and goat project, and then I do a lot more, like arts and crafts and stuff like that.
Okay, so these are 3 of our young people from the Waupaca area, and just enjoy the 4-H program and the opportunities to be involved. And like I said, we do thank you for your support, and hope we continue with a lot more years of 4-H after our 100-year celebration today. We will be highlighting some of our 4-H clubs at the county board tour that we usually have in June, as well as a centennial celebration during the county fair this summer. So we'll have other events that will be able to highlight a lot of the accomplishments of our youth.
Thank you very much, and thanks for coming, girls. Nice to meet you, and thanks for the great job you do in 4-H. With that, I'll take a motion for approval of this resolution. Motion by Mary Kay Pullman, and second by Mr. Handrick. Any questions or discussion? Please vote.
Last chance to vote. Motion carries 26-0.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. Next, we have resolution number 2/1415, Waupaca County Hazardous Incident Response Team Training Wage.
Therefore, be it resolved that Waupaca County Board of Supervisors does hereby approve the $10 per hour training wage for the Waupaca County Hazardous Incident Response Team.
It's a motion by Supervisor Craig and a second by Supervisor Johnson for approval. Questions or discussion? Please vote.
Last chance to vote. Motion carries 26-0.
Resolution number 3/14-15 is the creation of a Deputy Director of the Department of Health and Human Services.
Now therefore let it be resolved that the Waupaca County Board of Supervisors authorizes the Waupaca County Deputy of Health and Human Services Board to hire a Deputy Director effective as of the passing of this resolution. Be it further resolved, the yearly salary would be set at grade 16 of the salary structure. And this will become from the current DHHS Department of Health and Human Services budget.
There's a motion by Mr. Gerald Murphy and a second by Mr. Zog. If there are any questions or discussion, Mr. Price is here if you need any questions answered. Seeing none, please vote.
Last chance to vote. Motion carries 26-0. And I do believe in front of the desk there is an organizational chart of the department on your...
Like this. Resolution number 4/14-15, proposal of a propane reserve in Wisconsin.
Now therefore be it resolved that Waupaca County Board of Supervisors direct Governor Scott Walker to mandate a propane reserve supply to use in cases of severe weather or shortages by suppliers so that drastic price increases will not result. Be it further resolved that Wisconsin Public Utility Commission investigate price manipulation and energy export policies that have devastated Waupaca County residents. Be it further resolved that this resolution be sent to the Governor, the Wisconsin U.S. Senate and House of Representative delegation, Waupaca County State and Senate and Assembly representatives, all Wisconsin counties, Wisconsin Counties Association, and the Wisconsin Public Utilities Commission.
It's a motion by Supervisor Kussman for approval. Do we have a second on the floor? There's a second by Supervisor McClone. Questions or discussion? Supervisor Craig.
We have to discuss something, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. The question is this a typical one that all counties are sending to Madison, or is it something unique to Waupaca County that we felt because, you know, a lot of our citizens had to pay enormous amounts of money for a gallon of propane that we're doing this.
Pat, we brought this back from the legislative meeting up in Mosinee last month. Several other counties up north are doing the same thing. We thought as a committee it would be proper that we forward this also. And I'm not sure if this is necessarily a state issue. I think it's probably more a federal issue, but we got to start somewhere.
Okay.
Thank you.
And there is a Senate Bill 699 that's concerning the propane. The department shall ensure that propane heating assistance is available at times when market conditions reduce propane prices. So they felt that this resolution would kind of go along helping.
Please vote.
Last chance to vote. Motion carries 26-0.
Anything on number 11, Clerk Robbins? Anything you want to add on number 12?
Next month in May will be our annual picture day. So we just ask that you address accordingly, and I will make a note on that when we send out the agenda, but just keep that in mind for our May meeting.
Mr. McClellan?
Mr. Keppen said that you should wear a tie. Dewey Brown taught him that. So I think it'd be nice if we can all wear a tie. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor McClellan. Pat, did you hear that? Tie?
I'm ready.
Got it on. I just want to welcome all the new supervisors. Congratulations and winning your election and being here and representing your important constituents. We got a great group of newbies, I call you, as I met you all personally. And as we go forth here and for the benefit of our constituents and visionary government in Waupaca County, you're really going to enjoy this. I know you are. And thanks a lot. With that, I entertain a motion for adjournment, and that is by Mr. Asen. Is there a second by Mr. Muck? Please vote.
Last chance to vote. Motion carries 26-0. We are adjourned.